Right. I'm going to go get a cup of tea, and then we're going to start. Huh! That's a teaser for what you might get in the show. Huh! Hi, how's it going? People. Oh, I'm not. Thanks for the wait, Salty Mike. I hadn't. Typically, Oh. I didn't even time it for when you stopped. I hadn't even timed. Thank you very much for the raid. You're a scholar and a gentleman and a legend and a sexy man. I'm just cleaning my glasses. Let me show you what's happening at the moment. I'm wearing my slightly edgy, currently, umbrella t-shirt. You wear it out when you're going to like the shop or whatever. It's just like my corner shop with a mask on. People are like, does that mean he's got the COVID? No. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. But it does mean to get the hell out of my way. Which is typically what I want people to do when I'm out of the house, even if there wasn't a global pandemic going on. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all okay. I do need to put a tweet out, so you're going to go back to the soon screen again in a second. Hope the audio levels are all good. They should be pretty good. Little cheeky Chris Roberts peeking out there. That makes me happy. That thing makes me happy. I've changed the donation goal because I've bought a 3080 and I've put the money towards that already. I'm buying any donations we receive over the next couple of weeks, month or whatever, are going toward my editor's 3080. I always think people should know anytime they chuck money at the channel what it's going to. That's what it's going to. Thank you very much for everyone that's donated to stuff so far. On the Star Citizen rig that I'm building, because I'm building a rig in the next couple of weeks, I'm planning to finalise that build when we get the details of the new Ryzen stuff, just because I make sure I get the right motherboard at the very least, so it is semi-upgradable. You'd say semi. I am going to have laser engraved as the plan on either the case or something in the case or on the card or something. A load of people that are Patreons, that have donated, that are long-term channel backers and that sort of stuff, because I need to get a canvas with everyone's name on and stuff like that as well, that donated throughout the years or supported the channel throughout the years. Not necessarily donations, because although that is very appreciated, that is not the only way that people support the channel. Nor is it the reason the channel's grown. It's grown because people have joined in as part of the community and asked questions and given comments and shared my videos and liked, subscribed, tickle the bell. I'm losing more weight in a positive, good way. It's not like, oh god, I'm losing weight. Why am I losing weight? I've been exercising a good amount. I've been staying healthy. I hope everyone else has been staying healthy. Bear with me 1 second. You're going to go back to the soon screen while I send a tweet. And actually, no, I can do it. I can talk to you while I do it. I don't know why I'd go back there. Let me get my Twitter up. Not that you can see it. So never show Twitter on stream is my suggestion to everyone. And the reason for that is that they don't filter Twitter very well, so you can get prawn on there. You don't want to be showing that on stream. And I go, ooh. What am I doing? I are live. Talking about 3.11 and 3.12 stuff, or whatever you wanna chat about. Citizen chat. Are you a bored citizen at home? Well, don't just play with yourself. No, it got sexy. Didn't mean to get sexy. I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood because I'm almost ready for 3.11 content. Zin has been paid for her first month's work, which is good. It means we knew how to do it properly. She's got a pension. It's all good. I surprised that it was actually all set up and done now, and now she's at the moment learning how to do Star Wars title things, messing around with that. I'm not sure why. I just said, learn what you sort of want to learn on days where you haven't got much work to do or while we're waiting for stuff on downtime of things. Because I said there's going to be a bit of a drought for what I want to do until 3.11 goes to first wave PTU. And we were expecting it to potentially go to first wave PTU for the weekend that's gone. Menon! Thank you, Rach, for the sub. Very much appreciated. If you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, just question in brackets, and I'll go through it in a minute. Yeah, so during downtime, we were expecting 3.11 to go to first wave PTU potentially on the weekend at some point, but it looks like it's going to be live very, 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 very soon. It's like any hour now sort of thing, I think is the plan. But obviously there are blockers to the builds, and once they have a build that is working for what they want for first wave, it will go live. It will go to first wave, not live. You know what I mean? which means me and Zin can make content on it, and other content creators can make content on it, and we can play it on stream and stuff. That's one of the reasons we weren't streaming on Mondays, because I thought it might be live by now, first wave by now, but it's not. So we're waiting on that, but Zin's learning to do lots of other stuff. And yesterday as well, we played the Untitled Goose Game, because it's 2-player now, which is fantastic. So we'll chuck that either up on some point on the channel, just so you can see how to be a better wingman. Because geeses have wings, and wingman, or wingwoman, or wing goose is a pun on that, because they've got wings. I thought I'd better explain that joke, because I know a lot of people there would have not laughed. Let me just put this on my Discord as well. Bam. I am live. Deal with that. So, some other stuff I want to get out of the way for admin sort of wise. Next month, I think we're probably going to be giving away a Mercury Star Runner. That seems to be a pretty popular ship. People want that. We'll also probably be giving away some of the 100 series of ships, because that sort of makes sense as well. What else? I want to know what... I mean, I've got quite a good list, but it's always good to know more rather than less. I want sort of to know if there's any particular priorities people want to see things for 3.11 and sort of for 3.12, because we can do some deeper dives into some of the... we can do some deeper dives into what content's planned for 3.12. Now, as we know, especially with the current state of the roadmap, stuff constantly gets pushed back and moved around, and the accuracy of anything that we talk about for 3.12 might not be perfectly accurate. In fact, it's unlikely to be, but it gives us a good indicator of what CIG are working on, and a lot of components do, features do make it into a patch, just not all of them. So take it with a grain of salt. But what I will do is talk about that at the time, and I'll make sure it's quite clear. Look, these features are planned for this patch, but they might not make it, and things like that. So I think I'll be a bit more accurate about that, and I want to make that very clear when I do roadmap updates, because I do them regularly, and I think people tune into them and go, well, these features are definitely planned for them. That's true. However, often they get pushed back a bit. But hopefully we'll have the new roadmap stuff up soon, and that will give us a lot more accuracy. Yeah. I did bring up Twitter Prom. I did say that earlier. Live servers down for compatibility update 3.11. So some of you might know that they did some server maintenance recently, or they're doing server maintenance. That's the back-end stuff. I don't think it's 100% to do with 3.11 specifically, but it might be at least a little bit. You know, it's general progression, back-end services coming online, making sure they've got everything up to date. It helps for 3.11. It helps for anything they have planned for the 10th of October. So that's a good thing. So I think the plan is, and it looks like the plan, to have 3.11 live around the 10th of October. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Makes sense if they do that. I said do. I did say do twice, 3 times maybe. But also, what's going on at that time as well in law? Well, in law, hello Chris. In law, we've got the Imperator elections, and that's actually happening on the website now. So, when does the Imperator election start? Oh, it says that they start 10th of October. The election final vote will be held on the 10th of October to the 24th. Huh. That's strange. That's an interesting date. That's the date that we're expecting 3.11 to come out. It's also the date where CitizenCon was going to be. So it's expected that there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in law and on the website with this Imperator election stuff, or Imperator election, however you want to call it. If you want to use the right words and the right pronunciation of stuff, then feel free to. So yeah, expect some stuff going on with that. I'm not sure to what extent. It'd be great if we get some cool in-game stuff, but it should affect the game to some extent. Will we be able to vote? I don't 100% know. They've talked about it previously and said there might be some player involvement with that. There's obviously a lot going on with the law at the moment. You can check out all the different candidates on the website. But yeah, so that's some interesting stuff. Some obviously primer to what they might start to do on the 10th of October as well. We haven't got an Inside Star Citizen until the 22nd of September again, so they've paused that because of their normal break. They have a 3-week break when a new patch is released, or just before it's about to be released. I still don't think they should do that. I'm always going to complain about it anytime I talk about it and say they should continue Inside Star Citizen because it's the news, and they should talk about some other stuff. Maybe with those 3 weeks, talk about Squadron 42. Maybe that would be sensible, wouldn't it? And I know general stuff with the studios that's like publishers, that's like the more generic stuff, back-end services and things like that. That's what I'd do. I think that would work. Maybe celebrate some of the community stuff. Someone's Inside Star Citizen, not Star Citizen Live. Not what? What are you talking about? Why do you think Star Citizen Live has not been fully detailed for this week? What have we got? What have we got? Let's have a look. On Friday, you'll see an update to the subscriber vault. We'll also welcome a new episode of Star Citizen Live, which will be broadcast on our Twitch channel. Yeah, I suspect it's going to be about 3.11 stuff. Be cool if it's something new ship-wise or whatever, or talking about the Imperator elections. It's all possible. I don't know 100% why it hasn't been detailed yet, but often it's not fully detailed until later on in the week. So it's just for that's what I'm looking at now in this week is Star Citizen. Not much going on this week, according to this, anyway. You might have noticed a lot of people have still got their free fly ships from the free fly as well. They might not be taken away until 3.11 goes live, maybe now. Who knows? It'd be cool if it's not, if they're not taken away. Or it might be taken away during the server maintenance, maybe. Thoughts on the 100i? Would you get one if you were a relatively new player? Yeah, so they've upped the price of the 300i and the Avenger Titan by $5 because the 100i was in a slightly odd place of being a little bit too expensive and those ships being very close to it price-wise. So for a new player, the 100 and 100i is a great ship. Yeah, it's potentially so you've got your Mustang Alpha and you've got your Aurora MR. Yeah, the basic start ships. Yeah, you don't need anything more than that. You can grind up and get other ships pretty quickly. I would expect, at least rent them, whatever, to get into the game, to get out of your very basic ship. Now, thoughts on the sort of on 100i? Where does that fit? Well, you've got a load of ships really close to that, but mainly for me, it's the Avenger Titan, which is now $55, I think, and the 100i, which is what, 45, I think. Let's have a look to make sure we are being accurate and fair. Ship pledge store. I'm gonna buy so many spaceships.
Have AI brew.
Thank you very much, Baba Yaga. I will have a brew on you. I can put that towards brew if you want, rather than graphics card for Zin. No worries. So sorry, Zin. Sorry. I'm getting drunk with this money. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Abiyago. So what we got? So, yeah, 100i, $45 value, and the Avenger Titan is $50 currently. But when 3.11 comes out, it's going to be $55, and the 300i is going up to $60 when 3.11 goes out. So be aware of that. That also means that if you ever CCU them in the future, they're going to be worth $5 more, so you get $5 more value out of them. You see what I mean? Right. But that's a really interesting sort of price point because so the Aurora MR is valued at $25 and the Mustang Alpha is valued at $30. So for $15 more effectively, you can get 100 series. Is that worth it? I mean, I think it's worth putting the $20 in at the moment to get an Avenger Titan if you are going to upgrade your ship. Because I think it's a really great all-rounder. That said, I do see that even endgame people will be using 100 eyes as shuttles. And I think they're a great all-round, fast, durable, well, durable is maybe durable for its size, maybe, but sort of fast, efficient, is what I'm actually trying to say, all-rounder with cargo space, with a bed, with loads of stuff. So that they're really useful ships, and I think they're just going to be great little shuttles. So, what I'll end up doing is melting my rock. Don't melt the rock! I love the rock. You're about to get it cheaply in-game, the rock. Same with a lot of the things that are under, like, $100. You're about to get it pretty cheaply in-game, pretty easily in-game. I just think the rock's got so much money making potential. On me, I'm very sorry. I don't really rate the 100 series beyond the 100i. Like the 125A and the 135C. They're just... I know they're more specialist in combat and cargo respectively, but they don't do it for me. They're too expensive. I'd rather be concentrating on another ship. I'd rather be getting an Avenger Titan. I'd rather be getting a Cutlass Black. I don't like the Reliance. I think the Reliance are in a weird place, but maybe that will change. Well, it almost certainly will change in the future. Yeah. But yeah, I like the 100i. Thoughts on the devs just biting the bullet and putting out temporary solutions to cargo loss from 30Ks? So they don't want to be putting out temporary solutions. They don't like it unless there's unless it's easy and quick, and then it doesn't like damage their ability to put whatever they're putting in. So they don't want to be spending time, even if it's inefficient. They don't want to be spending time on doing those sort of fixes. Now, that said, 30Ks and cargo are a big problem, and they have addressed partly like missile problems, because they went, well, we're building towards some of these changes and balance. We need to get missiles in a better place for 3.11 before our big overhaul in 2021 with the missile operator mode and loads of other stuff coming with missiles. So there's definitely something that could be done about 30Ks. I'm hoping that once they've got iCache in, they'll go, right, we can have significantly better persistence, and then we can have something to recover from 30Ks better. And maybe they go, well, your ship's got impounded at the nearest space station. That's what I would do. You've disconnected, okay? Disconnected, and you weren't in combat. You didn't blow up. You didn't ungracefully disconnect. I mean, the server crashed or whatever. Yeah. If you ungracefully disconnect, keep that ship there for like 30 seconds, so someone can blow it up if they were just about to blow it up, maybe. But yeah, so you disconnect, have it impounded at the nearest station, and have to pay a small fee to get it back out. Cool, done. That's the way I do it with cargo ships, because otherwise you're just randomly losing cargo, which is in an unfair way. But again, any sort of temporary solution you put in like that would be exploitable and abusable in some way. Someone will find a way of doing it. So you have to sort of balance all that sort of stuff. It's an interesting question. It's an interesting does it need to be solved now? It doesn't need to be, but it should be. I would like to see a bodge job. I understand why we should see a bodge job as well, but doesn't mean we will get one. Do you know what I mean? Hope you're alright, Aaron Neo. How do I pronounce your name? Your tag? Is it Ari Neo? Or is it Aya Neo? Or Eri Neo? So, for people that don't know, Mr. Neo, very good. I assume he's very good Spanish streamer. I assume he's good in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. So I can watch him and just go, he looks very happy. But yeah, so he does loads of Spanish translations and stuff like that as well, which is really, really useful for the Spanish communities. And it's a big community, the Spanish community. Might be smaller than the German and the French ones, but it's going to be massive one day, I think. But he took me out for his birthday recently to a lovely restaurant. So thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated, sir. And I hope you're doing well, you and your lovely wife. Will there be a big surprise for 3.12? Almost certainly. There'll be some form of surprise, whether that's a new ship or something like that are released at the same time. They like to do big updates that sort of time. I'm hoping we have iCache. I'm hoping we have better servers at that point as well. I think it will be a relatively hefty update for 3.12. It's not going to be the hugest one in the world, but it should be relatively good. What else have we got? For 3.12, I want a BoredGamer Potato Head main game character. Make it happen. No worries. We'll have a Mr. Potato Head at some point. It'll be perfect. What button do I hit to crush the can against my forehead raw and throw it to the ground? DJ Brown, if I am able to get some emotes in game, I will get a T-pose emote. You can't see, but I'm T-posing. And I love the idea of crushing a can. I'm pretty sure Salty Mike is neither a scholar nor a gentleman. Nice. We've got a little cheeky peeky Chris. I'm quite far behind in chat. What have we got? With Wave 1 PTU and dropping of the green... Oh yeah, and the dropping of the green zones, can we expect the beginning of Station Wars? I hope so. If it's done well and it's fun, great. That is what I'm after. I am after reasons to attack stations. Not just the fact we can attack stations, because so 3.11 brings the green armistice zones around space stations specifically. Allows ships to fire. Yeah, so you can't FPS weapons fire, but you can fight via ships. There's also destructible large defense turrets around lots of these. There's a new way that security forces will engage and turn up based on your heat, based on the sort of amount of criminals in the area, and that could allow for people to fight and attack stations, lock them down, and have big battles while that are going on for ages and ages and ages, which would be absolutely fantastic, as long as, and this is the stipulation, it doesn't entirely lock down some of the players that are in that station going, what do I do now? I can't escape. Yeah? Do you see what I mean? Obviously the players that die doing the illegal fighting, doing the attacking the station, they'd go to prison when they died. Yeah? And there's going to be some new stuff with prisons in 3.11 as well. So that's pretty cool. But I don't want to be in a situation where it's like, I can't... Oh, okay, I'm locked down in the station. Can I not just respawn in another station? Come on. Do you see what I mean? So I think it's going to be really cool and really fun for the people that are going to be doing that. I'm going to be attacking the stations. But there does need to be something for those people to be able to escape. The people that don't necessarily want to participate in that, maybe. Although that said, maybe they'll just be calling for lots of help and paying people to help them. So we'll have to see. Will the Imperator election winner have any effect on gameplay? Or is it just for flavour? So Ted, it will have some effect on gameplay, even if it just is for flavour. But expect to have maybe some missions themed around it. You'll see stuff in-game about it for sure. And then there might be some salty people from the election that will get you to do missions in the future. So it'll be world building to an extent for now and the future. So it will have some effect in-game. And yeah, you'll see different missions because of it. You'll see a fractionally different economy maybe because of it. And what's prioritised. So in the future, and I'm hoping that a lot of in-law stuff does really affect gameplay. And they can do that by just sort of going with whatever the law suggests. I've got an ice cream ship outside my house. Ice cream van outside my house. Ice cream ships, that's confirmed for 3.12. I want to see VR come to Star Citizen. It's a ways off, so they're getting, they said Vulkan integration in first, which actually should be, I'm hoping for by the end of the year. It looks possible, anyway, looks likely in fact to me. So then they can look at least roughly of what they want to do with VR, and go, okay, so yeah, we'll have it in, we can do that, we can sort of do that, we'll keep it in mind when we're building our HUDs and UIs and everything else. I think that Squadron 42 will see VR years before Star Citizen sees VR. Because it's a single-player game, they can do it a lot more easily, and they can do it a lot more immersive. I'm very much looking forward to, and it's coming in a few days, Star Wars Squadrons. I'm going to be giving that a go with Zin. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I mean, it's not bad sci-fi. It's good narratively and good lore-wise for sure. A lot of people love it, but I've got a Valve Index. I've got the ability to sit home at home and play games. So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it will be really good fun. The Aurora MR should be deleted from the game and replaced with the Aurora LX. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. Because it has a value of $30, yeah? Yeah. That's equal to the Mustang Alpha. That makes sense. Yeah, so 30Ks, specifically, a 30K error is the client has disconnected from the server. Yeah? That's an umbrella term for that 30K error. So that could be for lots of different reasons. That could be because your internet connection got unplugged. That could be because the server crashed. That could be because some packets didn't get through on the internet. That could be, as a CIG dev said, because a microwave was near your internet and turned on, and that caused some interference. But it's an umbrella term for all of that stuff. The game seems to be more CPU bound than GPU bound. Currently, I'd agree with you. Although it's neither, it's more engine bound than anything else. What I mean by that is that I can play Star Citizen now 1440p with a moderate frame rate, but my GPU nor CPU are maxed out in any way, shape or form. That's because the engine is bound quite heavily to not, at the moment it doesn't use multi-threading properly, it doesn't use a load of the GPU optimizations it could be properly. And that's one of the reasons that it doesn't have that, is because they've been working on this Vulkan integration in their Gen 12 renderer, which when they bring in, it's a load of improvements that they've been working on, and they can't phase it in slowly, they sort of like have to go, first step's a big step, and then they put more and more and more in it. Do you think that the Parasite docking Merlin to Connie will open the door for drones, like the Carrack, in the short term? So in the mid-term, yes, it is tech. As far as I'm aware, that they need 4 drones, or at least steps towards that. The ship-to-ship docking and the Parasite docking, or was it hard dock? That is partly to do with drones as well, and it makes sense if you think about it, because you get really, really close to the orientation of where it's supposed to go, and then it auto docks you for the rest. I'm really looking forward to having the Parasite docking. And I'm really looking forward to having ship-to-ship docking. That's going to be cool. But ship-to-ship docking specifically is going to be a further out than the hard docking from the Constellation to the Parasite ship docking. The actual ship-to-ship, port-to-port docking, that's further out. But after they finish the Connie stuff with the P-52s, they are going to be getting ship-to-station docking done. And that's going to allow for much larger ships to be able to dock with stations, to be spawned at stations. So then capital ships and ships like the Hull Sea as well become much more of a possibility for them to put into game more easily. Why do you think CIG haven't released details on what they're doing instead of CitizenCon? Because it's partly for a surprise. I was hoping that they would release more information. I don't like surprises. I want more rather than less. Give me more information. But obviously, CIG are masters of hype and showmanship when it comes to marketing now. So, yeah, I think also it's because they had a lot planned for CitizenCon this year, and obviously they couldn't do it. So they're going to do, looks to me like they'll do CitizenCon early-ish next year. Sort of first quarters, almost probably potentially of 2021 for an actual proper CitizenCon is my expectation. I think they want to be starting to market Squadron 42, for example. But again, that's my expectation rather than confirmation. For CitizenCon for the 10th of October this year, instead of CitizenCon, I think they have something much smaller planned now. But some of what they had planned for CitizenCon, like the background, less super hype stuff, is planned still. Which is why we see like things like, I suspect, the Imperator elections, why we see maybe a ship go live, maybe some cool in-game, in-event stuff, some cool stuff to do on the website maybe. But then, end of November, we have the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, and I suspect that's going to be the biggest event they've ever had so far. And they are competing with the biggest event they've had so far, which is Fleet Week of May this year. So I think they're going to be combining that with lessons learned from that being more robust servers, better login services and back-end services, so they can have the larger amount of people logging in and testing the game. But also ways they've done marketing, in-game event stuff, all this sort of things that make those events actually pretty fun. So, realistically, Star Citizen has raised, including private investment and subscriber money, over 430 million. That's what I estimated as at the moment. So people are going, oh, over $300 million is mad. That's so much. It's actually quite a lot more than that. Yeah, so they're doing some server maintenance at the moment, and I'm expecting 3.11 to go to first wave PTU extremely soon. Hours, not days, in my opinion. I appreciate the love for a BoredGamer bobblehead. Thanks. It's the sort of love I want. What do we know of enhanced modularity these days? There's going to be enhanced modularity for a lot of ships, literally being able to change a large portion of your ship, like a whole room, a whole section of your ship, to another purpose. So that might be the Endeavour having a hangar and a hospital module, or you could change that up for some biodomes and a telescope. So for other smaller ships, there's going to be lots of different things. For like the Retaliator, you can have cargo decks, or cargo areas, cargo bays, or torpedo bays, or a drop ship sort of bay for it. And there's going to be lots and lots and lots of different ships that have those forms of modularity. Caterpillar is sold based on its modularity. At the moment, it just has cargo. We're not sure what these modules are going to be, but probably similar to what we've seen from other things, from a mixture of science and utility modules and armories and bedding and lots of stuff like that. So maybe ones that allow you to do some mining, maybe ones that allow you to do different types of cargo hauling, maybe ones that allow you to do refining. There's a huge amount you could do. So modularity is basically larger item ports that slot into whole rooms. And we will have it in the future. Obviously, it's something they want, but there's a lot of core systems they want to get in first. Physicalized components should come first, and then basically that's a new physicalized components go into an item port. And not all ships are going to have this huge amount of modularity, though. Some are just going to have to change their weapons gear and loadouts, but they won't have like a whole room you can change. Like single-seater fighters, they're not going to have a whole room you can change. When will 3.11 release? It's expected, in my opinion, for 10th of October for a live build. What else have we got here? I'm waiting for a phone call from the doctor because I need to have my blood taken. Checking on my cholesterol and my liver. Please tell us something you know about ship which can catch you from warp jump, please. So, there's the Mantis at the moment. The Mantis has a quantum interdiction / enforcement device which allows you to pull people out of quantum, but also keep them there. The Cutlass Blue has a device that literally just keeps people there rather than pulls them out. So there are going to be different sizes of these drive, at least that's the plan, and you'll be able to put them in certain ships, or there'll be other ships for that sort of stuff. What else have we got? You have no interest in flat screen gaming anymore? Oh, that's weird, because I like VR for short-term, mid-term experience. So, like, I can do VR for maybe 4 hours before I go a bit sick, got a bit of a headache. I'm not great with the light being shone on my eyes constantly. I've become like a little hobbit dwarf boy. Sort of. Would Vulcan help my old i7 920? Wow. That is a beautiful processor, but it is very old now. Will it allow Star Citizen to run better? Potentially, because it will be better scalable wise, and it should allow you to make some concessions. But that is quite an old processor now. I mean, it's still a cool processor, but I mean that moving up to like what 9 generations beyond that processor now, it is going to be lacking. So there's currently updates going on to the back-end services and net maintenance going on for Star Citizen. So if you can't connect to Star Citizen, that is why. Have they brought up the process of server meshing and iCache and why it's taking so long compared to other games like Eve, who made it quite quickly? So server meshing in Star Citizen specifically is seamless transfer of data between servers. Yeah, so seamless, meaning no loading between that, really, no perceivable load. So Eve, they have different sectors, and you can move between them pretty easily, yeah? And it's not important if... Bear with me 1 second. I will answer that question again. 1 second, I'll be right back. Oh. Sorry. Sorry, I'm the worst. You know I'm the worst. I'm so professionally. So that was my doctor. So I've been having problems with my back for a while. The bottom of my back is like bruised. I'm not sure how. It might be the way I sit. It might be because it could be a lot of things. But I've been having discomfort in my right side as well. I just want to make sure I haven't got like the death. Yeah. So they're giving me some blood tests and stuff like that. I'm overly conscious about my health, especially because I used to be quite a bit fatter. I'm probably not the healthiest. I'm still not the healthiest. I sit in a chair most of the time. I'm very sedentary. Right, so what were we talking about? Have they brought up the progress of server meshing and iCache and what's taking so long compared to MMOs like EVE that make it quickly? So, server meshing that you see typically in other games is not the same to what they want in Star Citizen. Star Citizen's server meshing is seamless. They are able to transfer data between servers is the idea, and what they want is it to dynamically spin up and down servers based on population of an area. EVE, it separates areas out into multiple servers, and they don't allow for huge amounts of players in an area without time dilation. That's the way they get around it. And they have this huge time dilation thing for these huge battles. But it's not just multiple servers sharing information. It has to be done seamlessly is the key. So that you can have a capital ship flying around in a server that is its own server. It's nested servers as well. Which upcoming ship do you expect their big reveal to be on the 10th? Well, we don't know there's going to be a big ship reveal. I mean, cool if there will be. I think a lot of people think it's the RSI Odin. But there could be a Shan cargo ship, there could be a mobile refinery, there could be a load of other stuff. I'm hoping they do reveal something. That'd be cool. And something at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo as well would be cool. Oh, I'd love it if the Ares comes out soon. I'm excited for the Ares. I want an alpha striking fighter. Or support fighter, sort of thing. Are the ships finite, or is Cloud Imperium making more as they go to raise funds? At the moment, they're making more. And I think even after they've completed the game, they'll make more. Whether or not they'll sell them outside of the game is a different story. Yeah, the Talon and the Shrike for 3.12. I mean, I think they're going to be pretty cool. It depends on where missiles are at that time. So AI have previously, for like a small mini patch, learnt how to sit down in chairs properly. But then they break it again. Do you think Chris Roberts will ever delay Squadron 42 again? What do you mean? They haven't got an actual hard release date yet. They can't delay it more. Can't delay something that hasn't got a release date already. Right, when is iCache and server meshing coming live? So, we're hoping for iCache by the end of the year. That's the current hope. They've said with server meshing, they wanted to be near in a state where they are getting close to being able to release its first iteration by the end of the year, but they won't release it by the end of the year. It's more likely to have some form of server meshing in the first half of 2021 at the moment. That's what it looks like. Who ended up bringing the Star Runner? This month's is for a Talon, and I haven't gone through the winner yet. So next month we're going to have a Mercury Star Runner as well, because I've been able to obtain another 3. I think it was 3. These are all bought with the BoredGamer money, not been given to me by CID or anything. They've been bought. I wish they had been given, because then I wouldn't have to pay for them. Do you know the progress of changing / painting the ship colours, please? Thank you. So they are working on aftermarket customization of ships, and you will see more and more ship skins come into game that you can literally apply to more and more ships in the shorter term. Aftermarket customization for a ship is a big thing. We will start to see that at some point, but I think we're about a year away from it. Maybe a year and a half. Seamac Brothers said that 3.11 might allow ships to do short quantum jumps if dampened by the mantis, presumably to an automarker or planet side. Can you confirm? I cannot confirm or deny. Well, I can't confirm anything from 3.11 EVOCATI. Love your info style. Thank you very much, Jamaica. Jamaica. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. I'm incredibly thirsty. Ugh. Do you think server meshing will be in 4.0 with Pyro? Doesn't need it, so it's not essential. It depends when they release 4.0. If we get Pyro by the end of this year, some of Pyro, then almost certainly not with server meshing. If it's released halfway through next year, then more likely. The problem is that we have a lot of the stuff that we know they're working on and its priorities, but we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't have hard dates. This one's for the chat. Are you lonely when BoredGamer isn't around? You've got Chris there. Please don't leave me alone with Chris, says the chair. When you take breaks in your streams, could you play some fake Star Citizen commercials? That's a good idea. We can make some fake Star Citizen commercials. We can work on. Me and Zin can work on them in our spare time. No worries. I never forget to wipe. Just don't even joke about that. A man's ass is his castle. Yeah, what else we got? Do you think a laptop with a i7-77 and 1050 would run the game smoothly or not? It will not run the game smoothly. 1050 is not that powerful. Can you explain the upcoming missile lock changes? So, missiles get locked now. You can only lock on to as many targets as you have missile actual platforms. So, if you've got 2 missile pylons, you can lock twice. And for example, if you've got 1, you can only lock once. If you've got 8, then you can only lock up to 4. So you can lock a maximum of 4. And yeah, missiles are a lot weaker now, or at least balanced. Let's show you this. So you've got these decoys getting pew pew pew, and you've got noise fields getting pew pew pew, which are replacing flares and chaff, kind of respectively. Basically, they're going to be more useful against all types of missile, or more useful against more types of missile more regularly. And one's so the noise fields are sort of like more distorting and jamming signatures, whereas the decoys are more attracting the missile. So it's to do with getting locks and losing locks and stuff like that. And a missile that won't be able to look behind itself anymore. So if it loses its target when it's going through, or because it's targeting whatever, it might lose its target permanently and just keep on going before it detonates. It can only reacquire its original target as well. So I really like the idea of the material changes at the moment. I think they're pretty simple, pretty solid. A lot of people are going to be like, well, what about missile boats? Well, missile boats can still lock a large amount of missiles, fire them, and then fire more missiles. They've got the stamina to fire missiles. They can't just fire 32 missiles all at once. Just go, well, that's dead. So the servers are down for some maintenance. No confirmed. We're not getting an update this second, although we could literally get 3.11 first wave PTU any time now, quite literally. But the servers are down because they're doing maintenance on them, potentially getting them ready for 3.11, 3.12, but just generally getting them, maintenanced. There's a lot of updates they wanted to do, a lot of stuff that they want to turn on for backend services. But it is just some basic maintenance for the most part. Seeing your background video, what content do you think we're going to get for the PU after Squadron 42 releases? So there should be more people working on the Persistent Universe once Squadron 42 is a bit more complete. At least features that are going to be much more quickly implementable, and ships that are more implementable for the Persistent Universe for sure. And a lot of the core systems will be done once Squadron 42's in a position to be released. So you'll start to see gameplay loops, is my expectation. Much more in the way of gameplay loops, fleshing that out. And lots of more types of submission and variants of missions. I'm not sure if we're going to get a video for the virtual event on the 10th of October, because obviously CitizenCon is cancelled, and it's not the same as CitizenCon. So. Does multi-core actually improve game performance? Yes, I mean, to an extent, but they are building a lot more multi-threaded optimization in at the moment. So when they release their first stage of the Gen 12 renderer with Vulkan support, hopefully towards the end of this year, then you should see a lot more support for that. What do you think of the current mining gameplay loops and balance? There's currently no need for the mole. Don't say it's balanced, and what with the uptime costs of several prospects to save one mole. So they need to have it so that there's a bit more movement in where minerals are and appear, and if they have big groups of minerals that appear in an area for a medium period of time, then moles become more effective. They need to have it so it changes. We need a dynamic economy to support that, and we need to have changing prices, because then it becomes more valuable at certain times for a prospector, for a mole, for a rock in different areas for different reasons. But at the moment, it's just one balanced one way. It's just like, well, at the moment, the meta is the rock. Just get a load of rocks to mine rocks. And 3.11 could be a lot more of that, seeing that you can now take the sort of materials out of the rock, put it on the floor in your ship. Any idea when we can get capturable bounties so my Aegis Stalker is useful? So it's useful now. We just can't put anyone in its cargo compartments. No, we don't know. So we've got knockdowns coming in 3.11 much more readily. Obviously, we've got stun damage already in the game, so we can actually knock people out. and I suspect that they're going to be working on bounty hunting gameplay and capture mechanics for that actually pretty soon, within the next few quarters. With the amount of money they make from selling ships, even after the release of a permanent live PU, do you think they'll attempt to continue selling ships and this style of development? Well, the style of development will change once they've got a live build, because it will be different types of updates, because they can't update a live environment with untested stuff. So I think they'll actually have a PTU and live version of the game constantly running, which makes sense, yeah. So they can get all the bugs out before they release an update. Do I think they'll still sell ships? Well, they'll certainly sell game packages, for sure, because how else would you get into the game? Will they sell new concept ships? I think it's possible. As long as they do it in a style of, you can buy it for real money, you get it at as early as possible stage, but these are still available in game when they're released, then I'm sort of okay with it, probably. As long as there's no subscription fee as well. For avoiding subscription fee, great. NordVPN can protect your UEC from hackers and pirates. That's correct. We do a piracy interview with Mongrel Scraw. They're actively making piracy work in current builds. Musha Musha, if you send me details, if you drop me an email at rich@boredgamer.co.uk, I will have a look. Send me more details about that org and how I can contact them. I'll have a look, do a bit of research, make sure they're appropriate, make sure they're not just edgy boys, and yeah, I'll have a look. That sounds great. What do you think of the feature that we have to praise Chris Roberts to not be locked out of the game? What? You haven't praised him more. The servers are back up, but you just haven't praised Chris Roberts enough. No, servers are down for maintenance at the moment, or at least were. What else we got? Oh, you can also get a lumbar roll to help with your curvature of your low back. So I've got a very expensive chair, specifically to help with my back. So I've got very good lumbar support on this chair. But I've probably got... I probably need to change my mattress. I've probably had a mattress for about 4 years. Alright, let me Amazon that now. I'll happily try a lumbar roll. I've got to... roll? Oh, it looks like a delicious sandwich. Okay, it's like my footrest. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it. No worries. I'm going to go relatively soon because I want to give a physiotherapist a call, because the doctor said, call the physio, tell them about your back problems, and when we look at your blood, we'll go over it at the same time, sort of thing, and see if there's anything deeply wrong with you. But I think I'm probably pretty good. Will we see persistent missions that go on for days? Something like this. We do a part of a mission, log off, continue where we stopped off right after logging back in at a later date. I think some missions will be okay for that. Some missions will be more short-term and have to be done pretty quickly. Some are going to have counter components to them so that other people can prevent you from completing them or competing with you to complete them. But I think the mission will be quite clear what's going on with that. Some are going to be multi-part missions, though you have to do something to do something to do something. And some are going to be huge multi-part missions, but you might not do all the parts. You might do some of the parts, but other players are doing the other parts, which then get you the items for some of your other parts. That's the sort of way they want the dynamic simulation to work. So, for example, in the... let's put it on now. In the CitizenCon 2019 demo... In the CitizenCon 2019 demo, the mission that they showed here, Let me actually make it the correct size on the screen. Transform, bit screen. The guy gives him a like a microtech scientist costume, which the idea is that there would have been a mission before this that either this guy would have gone on or someone else would have done to steal that uniform, yeah, and to get it to him or get it into an area which then they could be given to someone else. So, and that lets him get onto this mission. But he might not have done that mission himself. He might have got someone else to do it. See what I mean? Do you think that Dual Universe's server meshing is different to what Star Citizen needs? I'd need to research exactly how Dual Universe has done their server meshing. I hope you get enough for a 3090 RTX. I think I only need a 3080. I'm pretty happy with a 3080. I'm not going to be going at 4K. At 8K. I'm going to be going at 4K. What do you think about the current mod? Oh, we talked about that already. Talked about that. Do you think when Pyro comes out for the first time, it will have trade consoles so you can trade between systems? So there should be trade consoles at Ruin Station, as far as I'm aware, to do some forms of trade. I mean, the station's going to need supplies to be able to, you know, survive. Will Quanta require NPC AI to be at least a reasonable state to act out various required tasks? So Quanta can be simulated. The universe simulation. The physicalization of those doesn't necessarily need to be the best at the initial stage, because it's more important about what missions get completed, what's happening with resources and transport of goods and things. So later on, obviously, it's going to be a lot more important to track specific NPCs in a lot more detail. But I think first stage Quanta and universe simulation doesn't matter too much as long as they're tracking kind of what's going on. It's all to do with the probability volumes then that you'll encounter a certain type of NPC rather than a specific NPC. Any idea when I can get capturable bounties? As we talked about that earlier. Is the constellation docking tech they showed, is that what they will need for drones as well? Yes, as I said, I believe so. I believe it's a step towards drones, that hard docking. Hi, Board. Certain leaks have suggested that Squadron 42 will get a beta release Q2, Q3 with a full release at CitizenCon next year. Can you respond with your own speculation? Well, I actually think we'll get CitizenCon early next year. So first half of 2021, most likely. I think they'll start the marketing for Squadron 42. I think we'll see a release next year for Squadron 42. I hope so. They need to start pushing something out. If your PP hurts complex wave, then I would suggest that you put it back in your pants. Get it out of your hand. Stop squeezing it. Are the Carrack's elevators fixed in 3.11? They may be. We'll have to wait and see. Gib Kraken? Question mark. So next month's giveaway will be for a Mercury Star Runner, I believe. It's just little Chris Roberts behind me. He's fine. He's just having a little peek. Making sure I don't break NDA. It's fine, Chris. Having a little peek. Little peeksy. How do you expect the skin and helmet for the Carrack to look? I suspect they had a helmet already planned and already worked on, and they're just going to give it Carrack colours or write the Carrack on it or something like that. Very slight tweaks to be more Carrack themed. I don't think they did just drop a Squadron 42 release date. I think that might be a lie. What else have we got? Not too practical, but are there any plans for beards? Yes, there are plans for hair and beards. Lots more hair tech is being worked on. They've been working on beards too. They'll be part of character customization in the future. They want beards to not look crap. That's basically what they said. Plus, any other questions? Because we'll go through a couple more questions, have a quick chat, and then I'm going to go because I want to phone my physio, or a physio, and get my see what they can put me in for my back. When do you think the Drake Corsair will arrive? So, I don't think it's a super high priority, the Corsair. The Drake pipeline for creation of ships is pretty refined, though, so they can do it pretty quick once they actually focus on it. I think we could see it like by the end of next year, sort of thing. Sort of as a rough guesstimate. Cargo decks seem to be coming without gameplay in 3.11. So 3.11, expect cargo gameplay to be for cargo decks. The cargo deck will be a new location on space stations. Yeah, jostled space stations around a bit to make cargo decks make sense and fit there. And you'll be able to sort of rent, potentially even in the future buy ships, but rent ships there. Thank you very much for the raid, Super Mac Brothers. Very much appreciated. You'll be able to rent ships there and buy some cargo-ish type FPS and ship gear there. That's a sort of... and it will be somewhere where you can start and end some cargo missions, yeah? For deliveries and drop-offs. In the future, beyond that, you'll have freight missions there, you'll have escort missions there. I'm not sure what else will be in 3.11, if anything beyond that, but you'll be able to do, eventually, all of your cargo needs. So this is going to be a place where you transfer cargo. You'll pay a certain amount of money to have your cargo moved off your ship, potentially, and it will take a certain amount of time. You'll be able to do cargo deals there, you'll be able to buy cargo ships, you'll be able to rent space, lots and lots of stuff like that. I appreciate the raid. Thank you very much, SMB. I hope you had a good stream yourself, sir. I am going to be finishing pretty soon myself. Just wanted to go through the last few questions. Are there any other points of interest in Pyro outside Ruin Station, or is it just outposts on the planets? So we're not entirely sure yet. There's obviously lots of different types of planet and moon there. They've slightly retconned some of the planets, so you might see some terrifying wildlife like Pyro Crab at some point. I hope that it sounds like they're working on that sort of stuff now as well, which is interesting. So there might be some other points of interest they haven't mentioned yet. He knew before and BoredGamer the trifecta. Trifecta of what? Oh, shells. Shellfector. What do you think of the fixed bayonets? Wait, you want me to fix bayonets on my weapon, my FPS weapons? A bayonet charge takes less time to open than opening the Mobiglass. When you're out of ammo during a firefight. That's true. I mean, you could just melee people anyway. Just put your fists out, mate. Start whacking away. But yes, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm expecting 3.11 to go to first wave PTU hours, not days. 3.11 live, almost certainly by 10th of October. Probably some stuff to do with the Imperator elections, because the election starts proper on the 10th of October. Sort of makes sense. We don't know exactly what we're getting on the 10th of October, though. Could we see... we could see a new ship go to concept, or go straight to flyable. Yeah, maybe. We could see some cool competitions. Could we see an in-game event? We could. Could we see some videos? Squadron 42 stuff, Star Citizen stuff. Yeah, but what? We don't really know. Zalo just announced no wave 1 PTU tonight. Okay, that's good to know. What did they say? Let's have a look-see. So yeah, barring blockers. So, Announcements. Where is this? Thank you very much, One Tribe, by the way. Assuming that's correct. I have not... Where's that? I've not got a message from Zylo saying no. No patch tonight. Okay. I still think hours, not days. They're obviously trying to push first wave PTU out as soon as they've got an appropriate build. So whenever that is, over the next few hours, days, hopefully not days, hopefully hours. Come on! Come on! Prove me right! It may be an EVOCATI. Okay, well, I don't know. People talk about stuff like that. I don't know. Pfft, something about an NDA. Something about an NDA? You monster. Okay, no worries. So, what else we got? Anything else? What would it take to get another hour of your wonderful insights on Star Citizen? Oh, I need to find the chiropractor, not chiropractor, whatever it is, physiotherapist about my back. And also, tell you what, we will be doing a load of streams with 3.11 going live. So if that's today or tomorrow, great. Me and Sin are ready for it. We'll be doing a load of streams. We're doing some stuff on the weekend. Usually videos and streams. So me going away early today does mean that I'll be streaming again a couple of times this week is the plan. So if people have got ideas what they want to see for content first, just poke me about it. I will be doing a sorting of stations. At some point, I'll try and organise some of that stuff in my Discord. So anyone wants to jump in, and we're going to go and assault the station and mess around in First Wave PTU. There's been no new words on the Corsair yet, unfortunately. So there's loads of stuff going on about the Imperator elections in law, and there has been for a while now. But the final votes for the King of the Universe, human universe, starts on the 10th of October in law. So might have already been asked, sorry, but do you think we will get a vote on the Imperator elections? I don't know. So I suspect there would be something that players will be able to get involved with from the 10th of October onwards, even if it is just sort of like, yeah, maybe it will be. We get to vote, and that will carry weight as a percentage of the humans in the game. And they'll just sort of like scale it up. That'd be cool. But I suspect there'll be some stuff. When do you think I can flirt with a pretty lady at Port Olisar Dumpsty Boat? You can do it now. And I do it now, and I still get the same sort of response, which is sort of like... they see through me. And don't react. Right. Do you think there will be freight missions where a player won't have to front up money for cargo, but maybe have to pay a fee if you use the cargo? So I think freight missions will be a thing where they'll give you a ship and the cargo potentially, or just the cargo, and you probably have to put down a deposit to do those sort of missions, I would expect, but not the whole value of the cargo or anything. And that will probably be based on your like cargo reputation. You'd get leverage better and better sort of freight deals. Yeah, right. So thank you very much for joining us today. Very much appreciated. You might see some... I'm not sure if it will go up on the BoredGamer exclusive stuff for Patreons and YouTube members, or if it will go up on the main channel. At some point, me and Sin had a load of fun playing Untitled Goose Game, 2-player, which was a genuinely great laugh. But yeah, that might go up on the main channel, or it might just go up to I'll put some polls up, actually, to work out what people want to see, because I don't want to chuck videos in the eyes of people that don't want to see them. Like put it on your second channel, put it as an exclusive. Then I'll do that. We've got some silly stuff like that, but you'll see a lot of gameplay from 3.11 coming out soon from me and Zin. We'll look at the new ships, we'll look at the new gameplay, we'll make our own gameplay, we'll see what the meta's like, and we're going to start to get into meta a lot more as well, because I'm hoping the Star Citizen will be in a significantly better state for PvP gameplay, and I can actually learn to be a more competent pilot. Because I'm okay at piloting, but I'm not great in combat. Against like another player that's good at combat, I'd get trashed. So sort of bear that in mind. Who else is streaming now? Thank you so much for joining me today. I know we're sort of like a weird time and weird day. I should probably try to get back to doing Mondays and Fridays for sure, and then any other disruptions to that, it's just additional streams. But we are planning to stream a lot more. But as I said, very soon, 3.11, hours, not days. Bam. Gonna give Maya some love, because he's a lovely man. Smash raid Maya. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today. It is very much appreciated. I hope you're all staying sane. If you've got any questions you want to send me, or suggestions for content, or you want me to check out a particular org or whatever, contact at BoredGamer or rich@boredgamer.co.uk, and that'll get straight through to me. Some stuff that I will want to talk to you about soon. It will be 3.11, getting a new updated camera. So that's going to be a Canon EOS 750D, I think, which is going to be upgraded for my sort of webcam and general sort of like event work, because I really like that camera. I'm upgrading my 600D or whatever it is. Yeah. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. Very much appreciated. Love you loads. You take care. Talk to you soon. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the raids. Thanks for the monies. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs and the donos. You take care, and see you in the best. Peace.